Hello, it's me again. It's been a while. Sorry about that, but I have been moving house. And look, I have a new hobby desk, which is here, and this is my dirty mat, which I really should clean, and I will do that shortly. But the reason I'm here is because I was chatting to Martin of Electro Beard Miniatures, who is actually link in the description. He is actually Martin from Mantic about Frost Giants, because I am in the process of making my Riftforge Orcs 100% Mantic ready for Clash of Kings next year. So some of them are, here's some of them. These are my Rift Walkers, and you can see these are my lovely Mantic miniatures. But I need to make a lot of the other ones Mantic as well. I've got some more there in a cupboard though. Apart from my shrine, because my shrine is awesome, I don't want to change it. So we were talking about Storm Giants because I want to put a Storm Giant into my list. And the Storm Giant won't be out until November, which is a problem because Clash of Kings is in October. So I need something else. So then we got talking onto the Frost Giant, which is, of course, the best Mantic Giant miniature. Here's mine, right, in pieces. And then, as we do, we got a bit carried away and out of hand. And I challenged him to produce the most ludicrous conversion of a Frost Giant into a Storm Giant possible, which he gleefully accepted. He probably doesn't remember that though, but I'm doing it anyway and then making a video about it to shame him into doing it too. So here's what I'm going to do. So obviously these are all the Frost Giant pieces which I'm going to put together to make a Frost Giant. I haven't done that. Probably should have done that before this video, but yeah. Oh, there's a bit that goes in there. Right, so it all fits together very nicely actually. Very, very nice miniature. Lots of resin. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to cut the weapon out of the hand. So you can see so the way that it comes with a two-handed thing, which is actually very cool. Like yay, or like yay, right? So he's holding it like that. That's nice enough, but I don't think a Frost Giant would be carrying, a Storm Giant rather, would be carrying a big frosty thing. So we're going to cut that out of the hands. And then from the base of the miniature, I'm going to sculpt some clouds on the base of the miniature, probably using air drying clay, something like that. And then I'm going to make some lightning bolts, not like these ones, because these ones I don't really like very much, but I can make them out of plastic cards, maybe some wire, and they're going to be kind of coming out, and they're going to go streaming up through the hands. And then, just to make it more difficult for myself, I'm going to try and do OSL slightly better than before. Oh, God knows. Anyway, enough ramble. That's what I'm going to do. Let's see how it goes. Right, so this is how far I've got so far. I thought I'd just show you because I am waiting for some stuff to come, and I got so bored, I decided to make some more things as well. So I'll show you those. So this is as far as I've got with the giant. I've reposed the leg because I don't like the normal pose for the giant. So I've reposed him to give this kind of a little bit more dynamic pose. And the plan is we'll have all of the clouds around the base, and I'm going to green stuff as the gap at the top of the leg there. And then the lightning is going to be coming out and then coming between his hands and coming off. It's going to look really awesome. But I think it looks pretty cool already, actually, with that reposed leg. And then since I was bored and I had my modelling foam, so Jeremy Duval has recommended some foam clay. I think it's foam clay, something like that. Hasn't arrived yet. So I think it's coming tomorrow. I thought I'd make my Riftforge. I love this model. I didn't like it originally from the paint job, but the model itself is pretty legit. It's a really, really nice model. So we're going to paint that. I haven't quite decided on the colour scheme yet. I'm tempted to just give everyone the red skin I've given my Thunder Seers, who I also need to make. And then this guy. I think this is the Rift Forger. What's this? Stormcourt? I can't remember what they're bloody called. This is the Rift Forger, which is my least favourite of the Rift Forge Orc models. Not because it's not good. I think the model itself, I mean, it's very nice. Clean model. It's just because he's carrying a fucking anvil. Excuse my friend. Why is he carrying? Because he's forging. Is he hitting people with an anvil? Really? Anyway, this video is about the giant. Here he is. Bam. Look how dramatic he is. Roar. I love that pose. So yeah. Okay, so this is as far as I've got. So, I know it doesn't look good now, but it will when I've painted it. So I've used this foam clay, which Jeremy recommended. Comes in a tub. Oops, like this. And it's so especially squishy kind of clay stuff. I think it's better than normal clay, the air drying clay I was going to use, because it doesn't take fingerprints the way that clay does. Clay is very sensitive to fingerprints. This stuff is really bouncy. I mean, it's still quite bouncy. Still drying though. But you can see that it's just very malleable. So I've just created these kind of shapes with it and dragged it out around his feet. And I will paint those like smoke. And I've got some plastic card coming. I've not glued it on yet. I'm going to do a filler and sand base underneath it and then kind of blend that in so it doesn't look as quite as strange. Sure. Okay, so lightning update. So this was my first attempt at lightning, because remember I said I was doing plastic card, and this is obviously a plastic card, which is surprisingly expensive. And obviously that looks terrible. And it's very 2D. And no. So we went with wire and milliput, which is this. Okay, so imagine it white and blue and OSL, right? So it's got thick wire through the middle, milliput, which I immediately regret using because I hate milliput, and I always have ever since I was 12. But there you go, I've got some. So I've used it. Yeah, and he's got lightning. I mean, it's probably be fine, right? Right? In the meantime, I made some Thunderwolves and some Thunderseers. Yeah. Okay, so long story short, I had to redo all the lightning because milliput's terrible. And so I had to redo it with green stuff and stuff. And I know it looks like a tree branch. It will look like lightning. So I've just zenithal highlighted it. I'm more worried about the fact that the clouds look like poo. That definitely wasn't my intention. I'm sure they'll look fine when they're painted, he says. Anyway, there we go, zenithal. I've also zenithal these guys. Yeah. So there we go. Oh, the dog's here. Hi, dog. Nero. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Alright, so we've got some paint on him. He's obviously not done yet. It's getting to the point where we have to do some OSL. So we're basically another layer on the cloth. Because it's just one layer. And a layer on the bits of metal. There's not many bits of metal. And one more highlight on his skin, but I've left this central area quite dark, and then where the lightning goes near is quite dark compared to the rest, which is quite bright. So you can really see it in this light. But and I need to do a lot more on the clouds to make them look less like poop. And then it's OSL, which is basically putting giant white highlights all over your painting and hoping it doesn't look terrible. So yeah, that will be fun. Wish me luck. All right, so first layer of OSL done. Always terrifying. He says as if he'd do it often. I've only done it once before. Still terrifying. So this is the blue layer. So I do blue and then a light blue and then white. So anywhere the lightning is, or we'll cast a reflection. Right, a little patch of blue up on his beard, even on his little nose. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Sure. All right. First pass of the white. It's a bit better now. Well, I just sent it to a friend, and he was like, "I can't see anything," and I'm like, "Okay." Okay. But I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. All right, so I think he's done. There we go, Martin. How's that for a conversion of for a storm giant from a frost giant? I'm quite pleased with it. I took him out for a game on Tuesday. He died, and I forgot that he had Cloak of Death, so that went really well. And now I'm on to painting some Reborn Legionaries, who currently are all in brown, but they're going to end up like this guy in white. Magic. Yeah, well, I hope they look all right. Anyway, forget that. Yes, this video is about giant conversion. Here he is.